Here we go. We're live drafting right now. 2025 drafts are live and active on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Link is pinned in the live chat. Links in the description of the video. It's time to rock and roll with some live drafts. And we're also going to discuss all kinds of stuff on this channel. Live phone calls. These are my hires for the big game. Patrick Mahomes. I lowered the amount because you can click these little up and down arrows. I lowered the amount to 19.5 rushing yards and hit the higher. I hit 42.5 higher on Kareem Hunt. I hit the 114.5 rushing yards higher on Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts rushing or receiving touchdown higher. The only one I adjusted down was the 19.5. That's my recommendation for the big game. Let's get into drafting. The Fantasy Football Show, After Hours, Graveyard Show, Midnight Eastern, roughly, show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday,
8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
How do you get into the draft? Smitty, how do I get into the draft? I'll tell you. You smash the link in the live chat, the link that's pinned in the live chat, the link that's in the description of the video, or use code Smitty, but it's Underdog. Links in the description and live chat. They'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. If you drop $2,000, they'll give you $1,000. You drop $10, the minimum, they'll give you $5. So you don't have to go big. You can go $10, get the $5, and draft 5 $3 drafts. Justin with the first drop here says, I'll bid $5 holler if we do 12-man $5 draft. 12-man. I appreciate Justin the trying to lure me into changing the direction of the show for a $5 bill, but we're gonna continue on course. Justin, you want to drop 100 or something? That might change the direction of the show. I appreciate you, and I can't tell you thanks enough for all the super chats you drop, but you do try and change the direction of the show. Hey, Smitty, if we start drafting, I'll drop a $2 holler. I'm not going to change everything for that, but Justin, I appreciate you. And if you have a question, hit me and I'll answer you back. We're going to get into the little board, $3 drafts. So go to your Underdog app, open it up. The link will get you there. And we're going to swing on over to the home tab. Okay, you're going to have draft at the bottom. You're going to have the, once the draft tab is selected, lobby tab and home tab. And you're going to swipe on over to the little board. The little board is a $3 draft. Little board is a $3 draft. Prizes are as follows. $100,000 to first place. Hit the green button. Do it live. I appreciate you, Justin, dropping the super chat. I could drop a private draft link at the end of the show if that works for you, Justin. We can do that, like a private, I'll drop the link in, $5, first come, first serve, and it's like a little kind of league that goes to the end of the season, and then we could all play together. We did a lot of those last year. So jump in to the draft. Let me pull up the board here so we can put it on board view. Here we go. Drafts. Let me show the board. Little big board. Begins in 21 seconds. Share my screen. There we go. There we go. Board view. Ready to rumble. Yeah, we'll do a private draft, Justin. We'll do that. I'll drop it at the end of the show. Remind me. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me guess, I'm 11 or 12. I'm always at the back, though. I can never get a top 4 pick, ever. I think maybe every time I've done a live stream, it's been 8, 10, 11, 12. Like, every single time. Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley. This is my MVP voting. Allen, JD5, Joe Burrow, Lamar. Barkley, I think Barkley's award was perfectly placed. That he was the offensive player of the year. That's what he was. You know, I think the quarterbacks do deserve this consideration for MVP. Unfortunately, it's kind of a quarterback award, and I've accepted that over the years. I don't try and push back against it, and I just say to myself, what quarterback is more valuable to their team? And it was really Josh Allen and JD5 to me. I think Joe Burrow was up there, but, you know, I do consider the course of the season, the way it went, and the Bengals were struggling, even though they were coming back on a tear. So for me, okay, Puka Nacua, Justin Jefferson, Gibbs before that, Bijan before that, Barkley before that, Jamar Chase before that. Getting close to my pick, I'm picking 10. Puka Nacua. This guy snagged CeeDee Lamb. Can't blame him. We got Brian Thomas Jr. The top players available, Nico Amon-Ra, Malik Neighbors. I do believe I'm probably going to end up with the player that I want here. You never know. I don't know if Blue Jay is one of our people. He might be. We'll soon find out. We'll soon find out. What are you doing, Blue Jay? Who are you snagging? I don't mind grabbing Amon-Ra. I don't mind grabbing... He's one of us. Why, bro? Why you got to do that to me? Why can't you just draft... Okay, let's go... I'll go St. Brown and Achane. Oh wait, I'm not back to back. I'm so used to getting the 12 pick. Achane goes to Bear. I kind of like this pick. So I get either Henry or Genty or McCaffrey or I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll go Genty. My team looks as follows. Amon-Ra and Genty. Not my favorite start, to be honest with you. But I think, you know, this 10 pick's hard. The 8 pick was pretty nice the other night because I was able to get Neighbors. I got Bowers. It was a pretty damn good team. That's the problem with drafting with your people is, like, you're getting sniped every time. It kind of sucks. You can't even... Tyreek Hill. What are we doing there, bro? What are we doing there? Amazing pick, really. And you know, low key, I love the Neighbors pick. Obviously, I was hoping he sniped me. But Tyreek Hill?
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Tyreek Hill? You're out there. Call in. Explain yourself. What are you doing back there? Tyreek Hill in not only round 2, but, bro, we're talking 2.4. 2.4. Call in and explain yourself. What are you doing back there? Jeez. Genty, Tyreek Hill, McCaffrey, JT, AJ Brown. We got a timeout on our hands here. Drake London and JJ. Come on, stay on your toes, bro. It's only 30 seconds. I get it. Jahmyr Gibbs, Ladd McConkey. Tyreek Hill. What are we doing back there? What are we doing? Vampy with the $5 hauler. Smitty, I'm at the concert, but wanted to check in and say what's up. Thank you, Vampy, for dropping the super chat. Appreciate you, Vampy, to the mother freaking moon. What concert are you at? I'm at a concert right now, but wanted to check. What concert is it, bro? Thank you, Vampy. Appreciate you. Yeah, who's playing at the concert, bro? Coldplay. I'm gonna guess. Drop your guess as to where Vampy is. Coldplay. I'm gonna say Coldplay. Go ahead. Everybody else drop their vote. Is he still touring? I think he's on his final tour. Breece Hall, Terry McLaurin. Love the one pick is so great. I mean, you can't even screw it up. I mean, like this might be his grandma drafting for him. Like, that's how good this spot is. You almost can't screw it up. Chase, Bucky, Breece Hall. We got 3-6 Mafia. Taylor Swift says AA. Yeah, And Travis says, what a beast checking in from a concert. Justin says he's at Drake. Grumpy says he's at Slayer. Peanut Butter and Jelly says he's going to the comeback tour of Creed. And arms wide open. We need Denny here to sing. Under the sunlight. Megadeth. Nickelback. Remember Nickelback? In Ashton Genty. Under the sunlight. Megadeth. What is it? Vampy must not be here anymore. We're dying to know where you're at, Vampy. What concert, pal? In Ashton Genty, take us to this place, into the end zone, under the moonlight. Okay, Chase Brown. Josh, okay, so the title of this video is Early Quarterback. So, on that note, I'm going to not pass on Josh Allen at third drafted territory. I almost forgot to deploy the early quarterback. That is the title of the video. So, early quarterback, I got a wide receiver 1, I got a running back 1, I got the QB 1. I've got the MVP with arms wide open, Ashton Genty. I'm on Raw, St. Brown. How did I get Josh Allen in the third round? Take me to this place. The championship is a race with Josh Allen's wide open arms. I'm almost on the clock. Hold on. Okay. Miss Smitty's like, shut up. Try to sleep, you son of a bee. You know, I'm going to reach a little bit on this one. I'm going to reach around on this kick. It's not going to be that big of a reach, actually. Oh, I timed out! I timed out on JD5. It'll be okay. I have the best quarterbacks in the draft. Shit. Damn it. Damn it. Get down. Son of a bee, bro. Son of a bee. That's all right. I occasionally I do try the double QB. I didn't want to go there here, but that's okay. That's okay. And that's also a lesson. The reason I didn't partake in such a lesson is because I wear my Q on my sleeve. But the best thing you can do is click on a player right when you're on the clock or the pick before, just cue them so you don't get screwed. You know, but I can't, I mean, I can use two. I got a phone here. I'm trying to do it with both the phone and, you know, different device. But it is what it is. I don't mind it. It's kind of crazy. I mean, my quarterback play is going to be through the roof. I want to be dominated. This is a strategy. You know, people do deploy this strategy. So, little moonshine in here, maybe. The double. Is this Superflex? Can we vote on making this a Superflex, please? I probably screwed up some people's plans that thought they were getting JD5. They're like, okay, he's got Josh Allen. We're safe. Nickelback. Did Vampy ever say where he was at? I don't think he did. I think we just assumed Creed. Justin said, greatest show ever with arms wide open. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you. Welcome to this draft. We're Smitty's. Losing his ass. Drafting double quarterback. Not only is he drafting early quarterback, he's also drafting double quarterback in a single QB, which is a strategy. And I'm balanced, so, you know, I could go Mahomes here, too, if I want. If I'm feeling frisky, I could go Mahomes. We tried that in a draft previously, and it was a really, like, kick-ass draft still. I did 3 QBs like that, and I still loved the team. But it didn't end up winning, but it was a remarkable-looking preseason team. Okay, you see Olave sitting here, and it's kind of like a tempting proposition. You're like, God, this guy is a wide receiver 1, but will he ever stay healthy? I don't know. Jerry Jeudy's a fantastic player right here. Jordan Addison's really good. David Montgomery's really intriguing. Chris Godwin, I think, could be a comeback player of the year candidate for sure. I love Caleb Johnson in this territory. Debo's intriguing, but also somebody you almost want nothing to do with at the same time. It's confusing, if you know what I mean. On the clock, Jerry Jeudy just got taken. So the question is, do I take a gamble on Chris Olave? Why not? I don't have a lot of Olave, and I don't have a lot of faith in Olave, to be honest with you. But this is already a wild draft anyway, because I timed out on JD5. So we'll see what we can do here. And it's gonna pay off, because I believe, I'm not gonna say it out loud, because last time I said that, what's his face took Malik Neighbors from me. So I'm going to shut my mouth. Yes! I was going to go Chris Godwin anyway. Godwin Olave. I'm drafting Chris Godwin, even though I was going to take him the pick before. But now he is no more. He's a 6th round pick. So the squad is as follows. Josh Allen, timed out on JD5. Bully QB, who cares? Ashton Genty. Amon-Ra. Chris Olave, Chris Godwin. We're going double Chris's, baby. We're going double Chris's. We're going Amon-Ra. I like it. I don't really think we screwed up. I think at the end of the day, where I took on auto draft JD5, like I could have went J-Mo or Zay Flowers, is Godwin really that? Like if JD5 would have fallen to 63, would you all have not said, just get him anyway? That's great. You would have. So the question is, can Godwin outscore J-Mo or Zay or anybody I would have took at that Jaden Daniels pick? I think it worked out great. Lewis, you are live, my boy. What can I do for you?
Hey, what's going on, Smitty?
What's up?
Hey, man, just one real quick question. So I saw that you did that one. You actually you handcuffed JD5 with Josh Allen, and you don't remember, but early on, so I have in my, it's not Dynasty, but it's more of a keeper league. So I have JD5 in the 9. So if I were to take Josh Allen in the 2nd or 3rd round, do you advise that, or do you still think that I should take a different approach?
See, this is best ball. Best ball is different, bro. You cannot do that. I can do it. You can't do it. You know why? Because the scoring's decided for me. Bully QB is something you do in best ball, because if Josh Allen outscores Jaden Daniels, I always get the benefit of the doubt. The lineup will be set for me automatically. You don't get to play that game. You're going to mess it up every single week, bro. It's not worth it. Don't do that. Don't get cute. This is not something you can apply over to redraft. And for anybody that thinks this is a bad strategy, like True Penguin's laughing, 2 QBs. Oh. You showed me, True Penguin. This is a bully QB strategy. It's not a bad strategy at all. I just didn't intend to deploy it. But it's still great. And my team worked out. Like I said, if JD5 had fallen to the 63, and the same case would go for you if like somebody fell and you didn't like who was around, it would make sense to grab somebody. But the question is, can Godwin outscore any of these receivers? Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, Mike Evans. Godwin could be every bit as good as those guys. And I got Godwin at 63. So this worked out perfectly. And it ended up being something I wouldn't even undo if I could press a button and undo it. I wouldn't undo it. This is great. But you, bro, are in a non-best ball situation. Take advantage of the late QB value that you have in JD5 and go attack a different player. Don't go Josh Allen. It makes no sense at all. Then all you're going to be doing, if it's one QB, all you're going to be doing is trying to trade one of them, and you're going to get value that you would have just drafted anyway if you just did, could undo it. Anybody that does what you're suggesting, they call me up all season long. Every week, they're like, how can I get rid of one? And then we end up making a trade that at the end of the day, if they just would have drafted that player instead of Josh Allen, it would have been fine.
For sure. Okay, so who do you advise for the later rounds? Would it be Cam Ward or would it be Shadir, depending on where they land?
Who is Shadir?
So
Shakir?
Shadir, for sure? Okay.
Wait, no.
Shakir, sorry,
No, I'm asking you, who is Shadir? Okay, sorry, say it again. Who am I choosing between?
Who would you prefer to keep in the later rounds for next year? Because it's like my league only operates on a 1-year basis. Okay. So would it be Sanders or Ward? Who do you take, depending on landing spot?
Shadur Sanders. I thought you were saying Shakir.
Yes, sir.
You said Shadir?
Yeah, I did. My bad.
Okay, Shadur. I got you. We got Shakir, Shadur, Shadauer. I would take Shadur Sanders, or I would take, I don't know. The truth of the matter is, bro, landing spot's going to determine everything. I'd be foolish to tell you one over the other. Like, they're both so close. Landing spot is critical. You got to wait. There's no, if you had to choose right now, Cam Ward, because Shadur is a little bit more of a project, but if he goes to the right spot, it doesn't matter. He'll be, cultivated. Like if New York got their hands, they're not in the 1 or 2 pick, but if they traded up and they got their hands on one of them, Dable would make whichever quarterback he got better than the other one. If one of them goes to a place where they can't develop quarterbacks, like in Chicago, which isn't going to happen, I'm just trying to give you an example, then I would be like, it's not going near the Chicago one. That's why I didn't like Caleb. Yeah, you got to wait, bro. You got to wait,
for sure.
Young man.
I'll call you back.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Later, bro.
Yo, good night. Yes.
Yeah. Arms wide open. Let's see here. This is a little bit of a gamble, but I'm going to go Zach Charbonnet here. I really believe I might get myself into some trouble, and I might be underwater in a lot of leagues this year if this doesn't work out. But I just feel like even if Walker doesn't get traded somehow, some way, Charbonnet is going to end up being the starter at some point. If Walker doesn't stay healthy, or if they trade him, or they just anoint Charbonnet the starter, like at some point. I love Walker. I hope Walker gets traded, but he can't stay healthy. And so if I had to pick one at cost of entry, Walker goes a lot higher I'm taking Zach Charbonnet lower than ever taking Walker higher. Like, I'm going to own a lot of Zach Charbonnet standalone. I'll try and cuff him, but it's not something I always do. That's one of those situations where I almost rather not cuff. I'd rather take a stab at a different player where Walker's going and then just grab Charbonnet. But I could see it going either way. All right, Rock out and Travis. Travis, what's up? You're live, and then Rock out.
Hey, with Shador, like you said, Giants would be nice. Vegas would be nice if Brady is truly going to be involved there and working with guys, because Shador is going to be a lot, on efficient throws, accuracy, stuff like that, working at the line of scrimmage, all that. So if Brady is actually going to work with whoever ends up there, that wouldn't be a bad spot either. And then with Olave, man, I like him in best ball. And I've been a big fan of Olave, but like you said, it's outside of best ball, it's tough, even if you get him at a good ADP, because it almost feels like the Saints are gonna, be tanking. Maybe they get Archie Manning next year or something, and things change. And you would say, oh, maybe they'll trade Olave, but they probably won't, because he's all they have.
Yeah.
They need someone to try to sell a couple tickets with.
Yeah.
And it's like he's kind of stuck there.
Yeah, and I like Olave in best ball way more than I like him in non-best ball, because you don't have to decide when to put him in. If he's doing well, he gets inserted automatically, because you don't set your lineups in best ball. For those that don't know, your highest scoring players each week start for you automatically, which I'll admit, if it's your first time hearing that, you think that's weak. Like, oh, that's not that's for babies. And that's what I first thought too. I think everybody thought that when they first heard it.
Yep.
But it's not. It's the most common thing to play nowadays. And the reason is you can go through hundreds and thousands of drafts and then use your skill and advantage. I mean, it's just different perspective and different, strategy. You start looking at things like I'm looking at here, like Olave, I would draft. Henry, I draft more in best ball than in non-best ball, because Henry could be amazing for 10 straight weeks. And even if he falls off a cliff, I plan on building, because I drafted Henry, a running back stable that's supposed to catch him when he falls later, and have that Bucky and Chase Brown and Charbonnet at the end of the draft for 2025. So that they can take over for Henry once he's handing the baton off and saying 10 straight weeks of being a monster, I'm done. And he hands the baton off. So you got to build your team in a special way in best ball that accounts for all these things. Real quickly, let me make this selection. 1 second.
Yeah.
Let me just draft this real quick. This is a good spot to be in right here. I'm gonna go. Man, damn it.
So,
yeah, I'm gonna take ETN here and do what I did the other day. Let me wait until we get around, but I took ETN. This is kind of my hero RB approach that I've been doing lately, and if it doesn't work out, it's fine. I got another trick up my sleeve, but yeah, go ahead, Travis, while I wait for my pick to come back around.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say on best ball, for people who haven't tried it or, might be hesitant to try it. I was, like you said, I was the same way at first. When you first hear about it, when you haven't done it. But two of the big things is, one, like you said, it allows you to do tons of different drafts, because you can do, $3 drafts all the time, $5 drafts. And it really sharpens your skills for drafting, even though redraft is a little different. But by the time the redrafts come around, you know all the players, you know what ADP they should be at, and it sharpens your skills in that sense. And then also, there's a tendency I see for a lot of people, like, oh, I got to have Barkley this year, or I have to have Chase this year. Well, I've noticed, at least for me, that I don't have that feeling anymore going into my regular, redrafts or dynasties or anything like that. It's a lot easier to go best player available, because you can have as many of those shares as you want in best ball, so you
Well,
get a piece of that
one
without
sec.
having to feel like that in your regular
Yeah,
draft.
one second. Okay, so I'm going to draft. I went ETN. I'm going to go Bigsby here. And I did this before in last night's draft, I think, or the night before, whatever day it was, where I go hero, I go big swing Charbonnet, and then I go with the ETN Tank Bigsby combo. That I think, you got the creator of Bucky Irving, Liam Cohen, now over in Jacksonville. And I don't think his intention is to draft a running back, and I say that with pretty good confidence because when he was talking about his new team, the three first things out of his mouth were BTJ, ETN, Bigsby. And he said, if you could sleep well at night if you get BT 10, targets a game. You could sleep well at night if you give ETN 20 carries a game or Bigsby 20 carries a game. And so him, going straight to those three playmakers makes me feel very, very confident that my hero RB running back 2 can be the combination of ETN and Bigsby, especially if I mix in a guy like Charbonnet. I have, in my opinion, the craftiest running back 2 that you could assemble, aside from like another couple guys that I might try and add, that you could find. And I love Genty, and this right here is fantastic. And the fact that I've got Travis Kelce, who you could say take it or leave it, whatever. Godwin, Olave, St. Brown, JD5, and Allen in a 1 QB, but it's bully QB. This is a pretty good team. I like it. And thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. And to your point, Travis, before I let you continue on that, yeah, I think best ball, overdoing best ball to a degree, like drafting a ton, saturating your drafts with best ball, does make you let go of some tendencies to, yeah, like I need Barkley and I'll draft him wherever, or I'll trade the world to go get him. Or let's say you wanted Tyreek Hill really bad and you're like, okay, my third round pick's so late, I'm going to take him in the second. And then, you don't do those things when you wet your beak on a whole bunch of best ball drafts and own everybody. And then it also really gets you prepared for redraft because, you start to hone in on skills like, in best ball, Henry's better than in redraft. And then you start to really analyze Henry and say, Henry's not good in redraft as much as he is in best ball. And I've wet my beak in the Derrick Henry department, so I don't need to go near it. And now I'm going to avoid Henry, not just not reach on Henry, but avoid him because I've analyzed it from a best ball perspective and I like him in best ball because he can just 10 weeks amazing hand the baton off to one of my young running backs like Charbonnet, Bigsby, ETN, and then it works perfectly. Like I would have easily drafted Henry in this team too because of the way that these RBs can step up. So it's very, very much the case. Thank you again, Daniel, for the super chat. Sorry I destroyed the grammar. I'm in a draft with you, but may have to run because of the bell, because he's a firefighter out there doing good work. Daniel, appreciate you.
You've just been.
Okay, real quick, if you want to finish your thought after I make this pick. Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Yep.
On the clock. Man, this is getting thin. I'm probably gonna time out here. I did queue up. I'm gonna time out on my queue, Yoshivas. A little early, but I queued Yoshivas because I knew I would want him eventually, and I was gonna time out. There's a little bit of a reach, but not too bad. So
That's a good strategy, though. Like, make sure you have a couple of those guys at the top of your queue just in case you're going to time out. You don't end up with some bumping them on.
I like Yoshivas a lot. So the next player I'm going to. It's such a weak area anyway. There's literally.
Is Whittington going?
There's like nobody here. It's crazy how weak this area I mean, like, I'm tempted to go. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna do. I'm tempted to go. No, that's a little early. I'm gonna go. I got a guy that I'm not gonna queue yet. That I'm gonna take right here. That might safeguard one of my other picks. CJ Stroud goes to the team 12. I don't know how I feel about CJ Stroud. I don't hate him, but
I go back and forth. I find myself waiting on him.
yeah, I don't hate him, but I also don't rush to draft him. I just don't. All right, here goes my pick. I think this will be a good move because I think he's very underrated. So I likely just went. I'm gonna go Evan Ingram. It's either Evan Ingram or Kyle Pitts. Take a gamble on Pitts doing something with Penix, but God, he's disappointing last year.
I think they're both good. I like both of them. In their situation, anyway.
I'm gonna go Ingram. So that gives me a little bit of a backup plan for my Travis Kelce tight end slot.
That's a nice backup plan.
Yeah, and then especially with Liam Cohen. Hopefully Cohen can do good work. Kyle Pitts just went. Okay, go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just going to say two quick things. I'll let Rocco go after that. Just on talking about drafting too, I have a couple of friends who every year they go in with like a list of 3 or 4 guys they have to have, and those guys get taken inevitably either too early or before they can get to them, and then they're flustered the rest of the draft. Like if we're drafting together, you can see their whole draft gets thrown off after that. They're unhappy with the team. So it's like, if you can get the fandom out of your mind, I know it's hard for some people, but whether it's on certain players or a certain team, get the fandom out of your head. You're playing to win, you know. And then the other thing I was just going to say was with that ETN Bigsby thing, not only was he the creator of Bucky, but while doing that, Rachaad White was still a top 15 back.
Yeah.
So, you know, he builds an offense where two backs succeed together and coincide. So
yeah.
But I'll let Rocco go. I don't want to pick up.
Rock out. What's up, Rock out?
Rocco. What's up, Rocco?
Yeah, you should take Godwin.
JK?
No, Chris Godwin.
Oh, Godwin. I did. I'm in round 12, Rock out.
There you are.
Yeah. Are you behind on
Outer space, remember?
Rock out? There's a little delay between here and Mars. We're around 12. I took Godwin a while ago. I got him in round. Here's my draft. Rock out. I got I'm the far right team there. I'm on Ra, Genty, Josh Allen, JD5, Chris Olave, then Chris Godwin. He was my 6th round pick. Travis Kelce, round 7's a steal. Charbonnet, 8. ETN, 9. Bigsby, 10. Yoshi Voss, Evan Ingram. I'm doing it live. Whoa.
I love that tight end combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got, Rock out?
Yeah, I got a outside idea of Commanders trading for Olave. Shouldn't cost more than a 2nd or 3rd round pick since they're rebuilding.
You think Olave on the trade block? You're saying he'd be hard to sell though because of the concussions, but maybe a team would take a gamble. But you know, my concern isn't talent.
Awesome. He got out of there.
Yeah, my concern isn't talent. Well, he's also getting
hospital.
hospital.
More than a 2nd or 3rd round.
He's getting
performing.
That's a good point. I mean, yeah, maybe a team will call, but I don't know. The Saints probably think they got a chance. I don't know. Every team thinks they got a chance.
Well, that's my worry. Is that the Saints won't trade him because they have no one else. I mean, they have Shaheed coming back, but they might think, okay, we have Shaheed and Olave if they can stay healthy. And besides that, they got nothing. So it's hard to know if they move them. But if they would, that'd be awesome. I mean, I think that the Commanders have so much flexibility for who they can bring in for that other receiver. It could be a veteran guy. It could be a guy like Olave, who's, you know, they might get a little bit on the cheap. They could draft a guy. They could make a big swing on someone that's because JD5 is so good, and Adam Peters and Kingsbury, they have such a good thing going there, that there's probably 10 or 12 receivers that could go in there and be a stud right away.
I took my boy Ray Davis, 154. Before that was the Ingram pick. Before that was the Yoshivas pick. I really like Ray Davis. He's going to be a midseason monster. No, he's not going to be on the Moon Man because, you know, Cook is there. James Cook had a phenomenal year, 20 touchdowns. Not predicting an unseating, but if injury strikes or he starts to get flat later in the year, and we've seen players do that. I know everyone thinks it's not possible, but
or if Allen just runs a little less, if they try to pull back on, I know that might be tough because it's just in his nature. But
so
at some point, they might want to run Allen less.
This next pick I'm going to make is a little bit of a reach, but not really when you think about it, because I'm sorting by wide receiver and. He's really only like 8 wide receiver spots down. I mean, ADP wise, technically it's a reach, but I'm not risking it given that there's 3 or 4 people in this draft downstream that are going to snipe him. But this is our moon man extraordinaire. I think round 14, anywhere in the 160s to 170s, 180s is still a phenomenal steal. I give you Moon Man extraordinaire Jordan Whittington.
The Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
I should know.
Space Monsters.
With arms wide open. So Jordan Whittington. So the team looks as follows. I've got Josh Allen, JD5, Bully QB, 1 QB league, Bully QB. Best ball, your top quarterback starts automatically for you, so that's why it's called Bully. Genty, Zach Charbonnet, ETN, Bigsby, Ray Davis. I've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Olave, Chris Godwin. Got both Chris's. I've got Yoshivas. I got Whittington, Kelsey, and Ingram. Pretty good team.
Playing boy quarterback.
Yeah, that's a nice squad.
Run the table with the
Yeah,
QBs,
with the boy
man.
quarterback.
Yeah. The Bully QBs, it's a fun strategy. I didn't intend to. I timed out on it, but it worked out perfectly because, like I said, if I would have, here's my team on the far right. If I would have, after taking Josh Allen, if I would have taken, let's say, J-Mo, who's on the JD5 round line, Zay Flowers, even Mike Evans. Let's say Mike Evans. If I'd have taken Mike Evans instead of JD5, and let's say JD5 fell to the 6th round pick, I wouldn't have hesitated. I would have said, and I'm not saying he would have. I'm just trying to give an example that Chris Godwin and JD5 that's great. Like, I believe Godwin's as good as any wide receiver on that round 4 line. So to me, it worked out beautifully. I wouldn't undo it if I could. It was a beautiful way that it fell. It's a good squad. Thanks, Matt. It's getting thin out there, but here's the team. Josh Allen, JD5, Ashton Genty, Charbonnet, Travis Etienne, Bigsby, Ray Davis, Amon-Ra, Olave, Godwin, Yoshivas, Whittington, Kelsey, Ingram. Not a huge fan of Olave right now in general, but it's just he's so good. Talent-wise, he's a top 5 to 10 wide receiver. Kind of the same thing with Pickens, only Olave's his health, Pickens is his head. And both of them are curious cases, and we don't know who's quarterbacking either team. We don't know what the offense is really going to look like yet. We don't know if Olave can stay healthy, but damn if I'm not excited about what value he could bring to the table at that cost of entry, though. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. And then, next up, I don't know. We've got several players that look like a pretty good snag right here. Let me swing on down here and queue up a few deep calls. Okay, let me go over to the running back position. What do you guys think of Kareem Hunt next year? Like, is he going to be the starter?
So, I think they're going to draft a guy because there's so many. I think it kind of lines up, but it wouldn't. Well, they have Pacheco too. It could be a mess to start the season. It could be Hunt, Pacheco, and a rookie to start the year. But I really think they might.
Blue, why do you?
Someone, fourth and fifth round.
Blue, why do you keep
What
sniping?
happened?
I wanted to take Garendo, and then Jordan Mason, and then he just snagged Garendo. How you got to do that, bro?
Yeah, probably get another running back and then see who's the best guy by midseason.
Son of a B. So I went 80 Mitchell. I would have loved to have had that running back duo, though. I still may take Jordan Mason coming around here and snipe him for sniping me.
Reed Mitchell.
Son of a B. So my team so far, I got plenty of wide receivers right now. Not that I won't draft another one or two, but Amon-Ra, Olave, Godwin, Yoshivas, Whittington, AD. Got two great tight ends. I'll grab a third at the end. I mean, quarterbacks are fantastic. Could almost just roll with two in that situation, but I got to decide what I'm going to do at RB here. There's nobody, man. I might just take Mason. Damn it. That would have been... That's what I wanted. That would have closed out my running back drafting. Garendo and Mason, and then CMC's not going to last, and then I would have been set up beautifully. But I do think Mason is the starter if McCaffrey goes down. So he drafted the wrong guy first. But that's what the ADP showing too. People are doing that. Thank you, Lewis, with the $5 holler. If you got a question, let me know, my boy. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about Godwin. Godwin's had so much time to heal. It's not like he tore a ligament in his knee and then meniscus as well. And it's not like his injury is not near as bad as, like, let's say Rashee Rice or something with a... Let me see. It was an ankle, not a knee, guys. Some of you were saying, like, Freedom. You're saying no offense, Freedom, but you're saying stay away from him because his injury is bad. You don't, know, but it's not an ACL tear, so you can't be giving advice to stay away from somebody if you don't know what his injury is. He had an ankle injury. He suffered a dislocated left ankle in week 7. He's had plenty of time to heal. And the thought was that he could return for the playoffs. So it was that kind of schedule return for him. So that was BS. I had the injury. What was BS, Freedom? Were you talking about a different player? Did you get any notifications? Oh, John, call right back. I'm sorry, bro. Sorry, guys. I actually hung up on you. John, call right back and I'll add you to the call. You're talking about it. He was talking about it recently. He was going to be able to return the season. Look it up. It's new info on it. What are you talking about, though? Sorry, John. I didn't mean to hang up on you, bro. What can I do for you?
I know you haven't talked about these two guys, but what do you think of DJ Giddens out of Kansas State and Ollie Gordon, I think, out of Oklahoma, the Beavers?
Yeah, I like them.
Oklahoma.
They're kind of like the traditional players that you literally can't expect anything from unless their landing spot is great. So they're definitely players that don't, no matter what, rise up and, become studs.
Are you taking any of them? Are you taking like?
It depends where they go. Like I just said,
dart throws at them.
In best ball, yeah, I've taken dart throws at them, but I'm just merely telling you, like I'm not going to be drafting with an expectation that these guys go, they'd be like, around 18, 19, 20, sure. Like right here, like Giddens, he's around me. He might have just got taken if he's there. He's definitely someone to consider. Because you're talking about, look at the players that are available. Justice Hill, Estime, he's absolutely worth a stab here. But they need landing spot more than anybody. So I'm going to go wide receiver shopping.
Appreciate it.
Hang tight real quick. Hold on. Tez or Malik Washington? With Tyreek Hill now likely to stay, I'm not as interested in Washington. Tez Johnson's interesting. He's a small guy. He's kind of like Tank Dell size. But he's, the belle of the ball at Senior Bowl or Senior. Everybody's like talking about him, and he's a nice little grab. Late in the draft, and we're talking round 18, Very solid. Yeah, Freedom Guy, I don't know what you're talking about. He's coming back from a dislocated ankle. He's going to be fine. There was thoughts that he was going to be able to play in the playoffs. That's why, but what you're saying here, that he didn't come back late in the season like they were kind of thinking. Like he could come back late in the season, they were thinking. Maybe he wanted to make sure it was good and he didn't want to push it because it is a bad injury, but it's not worse than like a meniscus tear with an ACL tear. That's dreadful. That creates so many more problems down the road. But you were saying it was ACL though.
You're gonna see him work out anyway.
You were saying it was an ACL. That was what I was saying though. Like you can't stay away from him, but he didn't even have that injury. Let's go. This is kind of early, not early. I took Noah Gray. He was the top ranked tight end. I think it's a really good strategy for my particular tight end room because I've got Evan Ingram, who's kind of injury prone. I got Travis Kelce, who's old, and Noah Gray, who could benefit greatly if Travis Kelce did go down. So I feel like I kind of buttoned that up really nicely. My wide receivers are St. Brown, Olave, Godwin, Yoshi Voss, Whittington, A.D. Mitchell, Tez. That's 7 wide receivers. All very good, all very likely to get playing time. And then my running back stable is fantastic. I've got Genty, Charbonnet, ETN, Bigsby, Ray Davis, Mason. Would love to have had Garendo with that. I got JD5 and Josh Allen. And then we've got 2 picks left, so I can kind of go anywhere I want. Godwin is going to ball out. That's right, Matt. He'll be good. That's what I was asking, Freedom Guy, if you were talking about someone else when I asked that. Because I just want to clarify that Godwin did not have an ACL tear. But you were saying you were mentioning it to someone else? Okay. Rock out. Any final thoughts, my boy? Rock out. Hello. Thank you, Freedom Guy. Appreciate the clarification. All right, rock out. We'll see you later. I think you fell asleep on the phone. Peace out. I don't know if rock out's got on mute or something. Rock out. Later. Travis, any final thoughts?
Yeah, just back on. Kenneth Walker, do you know what his ADP is right now? I can't remember. You don't have it. Right,
yeah, I could find it right here. Kenneth Walker's ADP is he's running back. He's 58 and he's running back 18. So 58 overall. So just to give an example of where that is ADP wise, 58 overall is right in the middle of round, or right at the end of round 5.
Yeah.
Right at the end of round
Yeah.
5. That to me is too early.
You think he'd benefit being on like a true contender with like that coin 2 running backs?
Yeah.
Type of thing. You think he'd probably fit better in something like that?
I do.
He could just end up. I mean, I love him, but he could just end up being one of those guys we never quite get to see him at his full potential.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it feels a little bit like that. Hopefully, he does get traded. I think getting traded would be best for him. I think that there's a very strong chance that Charbonnet unseats him. And for anybody that thinks that's me backing out on my Kenneth Walker talk that I've had for, Kenneth Walker is the reason we have a Moon Man list. He was the first Moon Man to crack the list. It doesn't mean I don't like him. It just means that I like Charbonnet as much, if not, like, in some ways a little bit more, in some ways I like Walker a little bit more in some ways. But this is not I like Charbonnet all of a sudden. Charbonnet, there's a reason we made this Zach Charbonnet drop. Where is it? Where is it when I need it? There's a reason we made this Zach Charbonnet drop. If I can find it, I think it's right here. Here it is.
Get Charbonnet. Pop open a nice bottle.
He's in his college uniform. This was made before he got drafted. We were talking about how he's going to, be an absolute monster. And then he lands in this cloudy environment, and it just sucked. It was the worst news. I was so bummed. So him unseating Walker is like not going to be crazy because they're both like exactly, top 5 to 10 value-ish, talent-wise. Will Scary Terry still be a top 10 wide receiver if they go get T or another wide receiver? In your honest opinion, JD5 to the moon MVP. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate you. Hold on, I'm on the clock here. I'm going to go. This is kind of a sneaky pick, I think. I think Jalen Naylor in the 220 range. I mean, the guy stepped up big time last year when he was called upon. I mean, who the hell knows what happens? Someone gets hurt. If Addison gets hurt or, decides to go off crazy again, he's kind of I mean, he's speedster. Get him in the right vehicle. He could get suspended real quickly. I like Naylor a lot. I think Naylor's a really, really good pick that late. I do need another quarterback. I'll probably roll. Let me wait. Let me wait till this guy takes his price. These two guys probably are in our live stream. I mean, I'm gonna take Caleb Williams. I know Caleb's not available, but I'm just trying to throw him off. Take Caleb's brother. Search for him. This guy's got 3 QBs. He's not going QB. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers. Not great. Not amazing. My third quarterback.
You think the Jets stay with Rodgers?
Or do I go Joe Milton here? Just take a big freaking stab. There's talk about teams trading for Joe Milton. It wouldn't be crazy. Oh, man.
I hope the Patriots don't do that.
I'm just going to do it. This is kind of stuff that wins leagues, bro. Who cares about Aaron Rodgers? I got JD5 and Josh Allen. I don't need it. Let's just swing for the... Yeah. Let's take something that... Like, he's literally got 20th round ADP. There's very few teams that are going to have Joe Milton. So it's one of those things that makes you completely stand out. Let's do it live. Rock out. Final thoughts. I was trying to get your final thoughts, and you weren't there. The connection to Mars was a little delayed. What can I do for you? Final thought, Mars, man. Rock out.
I think a good middle round receiver would be Sutton from Denver.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's almost not even middle round. He's kind of like early to middle round. I mean, he's going pretty high.
Yeah, but some people will be sleeping on him.
Yeah, they definitely will. He'll definitely be slept on. I've been sleeping on him for a couple years now, I admit. And I really like Sutton right now. I also, you guys are in here, so you're going to be privy to some early nuggets and notes. Am I done drafting? Yeah, I'm done drafting. Here's what quite possibly the next Moon Man, Mars Man, probably potentially Saturn Man. I don't think he'll be Jupiter Man, but he's going to be one of the other three. This will probably be the next one. So you guys are privy to this. JSN. I think JSN is going to be one of, if not the next guy to drop him. I think he's going to explode. He's going to explode. DK could even... Yeah, I took Joe Milton. So the team is Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Joe Milton, just for fun. Party trick Joe. Yeah. Ashton Genty, Zach Charbonnet, ETN Bigsby combo, Ray Davis, Jordan Mason, Amon-Ra, Olave, Godwin, Yoshi Voss, Whittington, A.D. Mitchell, Tez Johnson, Jalen Naylor, Kelsey, Ingram, Noah Gray. I like this team a lot. What did they rank me? Oh, they haven't ranked it yet. Let's see. I didn't expect to get ranked really high just because I got a lot of potential, like Joe Milton's going to give me very little projected points. Ashton Genty's probably even projected low, even though they have him ranked high on the ADP. I've got backups like Ray Davis, Jordan Mason, Bigsby. I've got, Whittington's not going to get any respect. I got rookie Tez Johnson not getting any respect. Like, of course, my projections will be pretty low, so it's fine. Don't let it make you think anything crazy. But I always like to look at. Let's see, who do we have in here? I don't recognize all of the names, so like looking at it like this, I'm gonna look at just the top. Nobody get their panties in a bunch. I'm just gonna look at the top team. The top team is this one right here. This 3,000 projected points. Again, it could just be because he grabbed a bunch of high scoring, like these quarterbacks, whatever. Gibbs, Mixon, Henderson, Ramondre, Scatterboo, White, and Woody. Gibbs, Mixon, Stevenson, Scatterboo. Not bad wide receivers. Quarterbacks are okay. Herbert, Sam Darnold, Cousins, but that's not top shelf. The running backs are good. I would say it's not top shelf, though, because, it's not like he has Gibbs and JT or something, Mixon could have another good year, or he might not, and then you're banking on, a bunch of situations that aren't 100% in order. And I don't know, this receiving, I don't know how this team got 3,000 points, to be honest. Ladd's a great receiver, but Ladd, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, I don't know. I don't think that receiving core is better than mine. And I definitely got him in the other spots, so it's weird that he got projected so high. Ladd McConkey, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, okay, it's good. Ferguson, Ertz, and Taysom Hill, this team isn't even close to mine. I mean, this team blows it out of the water. Josh Allen, JD5, Ashton Genty, risky running back too, no doubt, but I've got an awesome combo there. Amon-Ra, Olave, Godwin, Kelsey, and Ingram. His team's not even close. That's just wild. That's wild. Rate D Hart, says Daniel. Okay. This is Daniel's team. Bo Nix, Baker, Dart. Not top shelf, but it's good. James Cook, Walker, Connor. Sorry I took Charbonnet from you. I didn't know it was your team. I don't look at other teams, to be honest. So Rico, it's good running back stable, but Puka, AJ Brown, Worthy. You definitely got one of the better wide receiver rooms. Puka, AJ Brown, Worthy, Keon Coleman, Hollywood. It gets thin, but you have a good top half of that crew is great. And Joku, yeah, good team. I think if this team had, like, at pick 30, So where I think maybe I would have went a different way, Cook at pick 30, Worthy at 43. Let's look at those. I just left. I don't want to pull it up again. It's going to take forever to. I would say. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I could look at rankings. I could look at ADP rankings. Pick 43. What was the other one I said? 43 and
30. 30.
Who are the two players?
Cook
and Worthy. I like Worthy. Yeah. But I guess I would say, like, as much as I like Worthy, bro, Hurts is below him. JD5's right next to him. Like, one of those guys, and I know that I took JD5, so you couldn't take him, but, like, Hurts, I don't know if Hurts is available at our draft, but a Hurts instead of Worthy, I think, goes a long way. And what was the other one? It was, what was the other one? Cook. James Cook at 33. Kyron's below him. Maybe Kyron in our draft went higher than him. I don't know that I hate the Cook pick at all. I'm just trying to figure out if there's another. Like, if you drafted another group. Kyron, Bucky, or Bruce Hall. Bradshaw, what?
I was just saying Bradshaw actually didn't look at his team.
Yeah, I already closed it. So Kyron, Bucky, or Brees Hall, if you draft again, Daniel, look to grab those guys. I would say over Cook. I like Cook a lot. Cook scored 20 touchdowns. I'm not trying to take away from anything. And we're a big Cook advocate, mid-season on or even a little bit before mid-season on. Go get him, trade for him. He's going to have a great year. I just think a replication of what he did, I don't feel it. I think Buffalo is very weird about that. They're like Kansas City. What they end with and finish with one year, they don't replicate the next year, at least at the very beginning to middle of the year. It's just different. I like Cook a lot, but I don't know. I just don't love it. But, hey, Daniel, I mean, it's a good squad. Appreciate you drafting. And I'm on the clock in this draft. Let's go over and draft real quick. I'm on the clock. I got 16 minutes left in this slow draft. My team so far in this one, I went bully QB again. This one by design, though. Look at this team. Burrow, Mahomes, Hall, and Kyron, Jamar Chase, Waddle, Hunter, Kupp, Kelsey. How do you do this? This is crazy. I feel like this is going to win. Burrow, Mahomes, Brees Hall, Kyron. See what I'm talking about, Daniel? I think you can pull this off with your strategy, just not with snipers. You're drafting with common man over here when you're doing a slow draft. This is a slow draft. I got 16 minutes left. Joe Burrow, Mahomes, Brees Hall, Kyron, Jamar Chase, Waddle, Hunter, Kupp, and Kelsey. Scatterboo's there. Tank Bigsby's there. ETN's not there, so I might not deploy that strategy. Although I don't mind Bigsby standalone, but I'm definitely going Scatterboo here. So I got 11 hours to make this next pick, but I'm going to do it right now live with you guys. So now I've got another running back. Scatterboo as my running back 3. This is a phenomenal team. This team is crazy. How do you get those two quarterbacks? I'll show you. I'll go to the board. Actually, let's go to the board now. Board view. This is why I love the one pick. This is why I rarely get it. I don't get the one pick ever on the live stream for whatever reason, but I got a handful of Jamar Chase Burrow teams. And so Jamar Chase, Brees Hall, Kyron Williams, Joe Burrow. I couldn't pass up the Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes value. And how do I decide when to go bully QB in a 1 QB best ball league? When I don't like any of the talent at that pick, so that 72 overall, I'm looking around and I'm saying to myself, I like Trevion Henderson, I do. I like James Conner and Debo those guys were beforehand, I'm sorry. Travis Kelce, I got him in the back-to-back. So I took Mahomes and Kelce and cuffed them. So I got Mahomes and Kelce cuffed. I got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase cuffed. Like, this is a pretty damn good stacked team right here. And then, you look at after the Mahomes pick, you look at Ridley, Shakir, Judkins, who's okay. McMillan I like. It just, nothing stood out. Tyrone Tracy a little bit. I was like, I'm taking Mahomes. None of those are going to win me the league. Mahomes and Kelsey could. So I took Mahomes and Kelsey there, and then Travis Hunter after that, Cooper Kupp, Scatterboo. Now I'm on the clock again. So I'm looking at, I like Mims a little bit here. I like Bigsby a lot here. I'm gonna cue these two gentlemen. Spears is interesting. Devin Neal is okay. I don't know. What do you guys think? Ingram's another, I could stack the Ingram Kelsey situation again here. Rico's not bad. Kind of got thinned out. Blake Corum, I have Kyron, but that's for later. He's 109. So this is for anybody who wants to know how, this is really easy and obvious, but some of you might not think like this. So here it is. Whenever you say, when do I draft Corum? I've got Kyron, right? When do I draft Corum? It's so simple. You look at this right here and you look at Corum and it says ADP 119. You go to board view, you look at your picks and you say to yourself, Kyron, I'm sorry, let me go back. Corum, 151. So his ADP is 151 right there. You see that at the top, 151. You go to the board, you look at your pick. My next pick on the comeback around is 144, which is under his ADP. I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to risk that he gets snagged because I'm not drafting with snipers. I'm drafting with regular common Joes that follow the ADP pretty strictly. When you're drafting with snipers, he wouldn't last. In this group, he wouldn't last. If this pick was like on the money or later, then I would reach on Corum here. It's really that simple. There's no rocket science to it. Is your next pick going to be slightly under the ADP? And if it is, then I'm waiting. So I'm not taking Corum here. He will most likely 90% be available to me at the next pick. And if he isn't, no big deal. So I'm going to scroll back up. I'm going to cue Sampson. I'm going to cue Ray Davis. I don't need to go down this far for my next pick. Bigsby kind of feels like the pick, or do I go Mims? What do you guys think? Bigsby, Mims, or Ingram? Chat, what do you think?
End, did you say?
I got Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Maybe Bigsby.
That's what I'm thinking.
Bigsby or Ingram for me.
Ingram's good, but I don't know. I got kind of like Bigsby a lot here.
Bigsby's got a little more upside there.
He feels
running back at that ADP.
He feels so. Bigsby and ETN feels so good this year as an RB. I wish ETN was still available. I'm gonna go Bigsby. I'm gonna do it live. The team is right here. Slow draft, taking advantage of everybody in this draft. Joe Burrow, Mahomes, Breece Hall, Kyron, Scatterboo, Bigsby, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Travis Hunter, Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelsey. Love it. Freaking phenomenal. Anything else, boys?
I was just going to say, do you think there's any chance whoever's in Seattle there,
Lewis,
they try to employ, the Gibbs, Monty, Sonic Knuckles thing with Charbonnet and Walker? Because you would think someone would try that. I still don't understand the Grubb thing. Is it just because Geno wasn't good, so he didn't feel like he could do it, or is he going to get another shot?
Keep in mind Clint Kubiak is the new offensive coordinator.
Right. Good point.
Yeah. And he is probably, I would say, he's a good fit for this running back room, I think. Tough to say. I think that's where the cuffing's okay. So I like Kubiak. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I think Charbonnet is just the option. That was your question, right? The Seattle room? Was that what you were saying?
No. I was just do you think they deploy the Monty Gibbs strategy?
Oh.
And try to use both of them, like legitimately both of them, instead of
Maybe.
one guy and then another. They kind of back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, Kubiak is. It's hard to say what he's going to do.
I mean, Charbonnet showed he was very consistent and looked really good. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he was just the guy. But, with the success that I know that Gibbs and Monty are also, unique combo, but it's a copycat league, and see that work. Maybe it could work there. I don't know.
I mean, he comes from the the Kubiak bloodline. It's his dad is Gary, Super Bowl, winner. Clint Kubiak coached under his dad and Shanahan's son, Kyle Shanahan. His proven system that takes defenses apart is what Mike McDonald, wanted. This coming from this is a Seattle Sports Report thing on this. Trying to see if there's been any sort of indication. God, I hope they don't keep Geno Smith though. I don't know.
That's what I was just gonna say. Geno to me is the biggest thing. Some people love Geno, but he's just so average. He can play a little above average or whatever, but you're not going anywhere with Geno.
What I don't like is a lot of these reports when you look it up, it's this is Kubiak's the best move for Geno. It's they're really planning on using Geno again next year. What a bunch of idiots. I don't know. That's what gives me pause on Walker. Walker is a fragile player that needs a great situation, and while Charbonnet I feel can thrive in a bad situation, and it doesn't mean that Walker is lesser or has less of a ceiling, but I think he's not as safe, and so that's kind of why I'm banking on Charbonnet. But I don't know. I like both of them. I wouldn't mind cuffing the two, but I don't sense a Sonic and Knuckles, but that of course is coming from just looking at Kubiak and trying to vision it. Maybe it's a copycat league. Maybe he takes a different approach. It's tough to say. I mean, a lot of teams might start copying that you might not have thought would. Who knows? But I definitely
think you're right though that the key is moving on from Geno to have a truly elite offense.
Yeah, they can't.
I don't see it with Geno.
Yeah, Geno Smith, man. What in the hell are they doing? At least bring in maybe Mac Jones would be if Mac doesn't get a starting this would be a good place for Mac to go though, because the Mac could kind of compete. But a Mac Jones or trade for Milton, that's the kind of move this team needs to make, just to make sure they're covering their bases. You cannot, and Miami Dolphins, same thing. You got to make sure you're covering your bases. You can't roll in with Tua Tagovailoa and Geno Smith as your starter without any backup plan, or you're literally just punting the season at some point. Even if they play well for a while, you're punting the season at some point, and you got to plan better than that.
I think that's the thing with Geno is for a lot of these coaches is he's safe. He's probably not going to get you fired. And there's sometimes that's enough for coaches. Sometimes you get us maybe to the playoffs or close to it, and we're not going to completely tank, so I'll keep my job for another year type of thing. Obviously,
Lewis,
it's no, what takes you to the next level?
Green Bean says, for future reference, you can typically let Kelsey fall another round or two. Sometimes get him. Green Bean, don't you think I know what I'm doing? I mean, you think I'm an idiot? You could say it. I'll be honest. I won't be mad. But you're speaking to me as if I don't do this for a living. For future reference, Smitty, you can let Kelsey slip. He's got an ADP, my guy. And the ADP is a proven fact of where he can go. And when you're picking at a place where you got to wait all the way downstream and come back, the likelihood of a player falling is pretty slim to none when that ADP passes the players. Green Bean, I know what I'm looking at. This is not my first rodeo, but I appreciate you looking out for me. Lewis, appreciate your super chat. I never answer this question. Will Scary Terry be a top 10 wide receiver if they go get another receiver? I read this and I didn't really answer it. Lewis, you still here? I think the answer is yes. I think he still can be a top 10 wide receiver, but it depends on who it is. If they go get anybody but Godwin or Higgins, for sure. If they go get Higgins, it could be tougher. Maybe they share the role and they're both 14 or something like that. It's hard to say, man. I would say if you're a McLaurin fan or a McLaurin owner, you don't want them getting T. Higgins. It's just the way it is. If you're a JD5 fan or JD5 fantasy owner, you want him to have multiple weapons. You want him to have more weapons. So it definitely an acquisition of Godwin or Higgins is going to be a little bit of a hit value-wise for McLaurin. You just can't expect him to be exactly the same. But I think he still could. The answer is yes, he could, but I would not count on it. I would bet that he plays at a lesser... Plus, he's getting a little older, too, and I don't know. Hard to say, bro. Josh says, I don't know ball. Oh, yeah? Please enlighten me, Josh. Tell me what I'm missing. Tell me why people follow if I don't know ball, and tell me what I don't know. Josh, we're all waiting. We're all waiting. I'm gonna give Josh the benefit of the doubt until he comes out and explains it, but Josh probably won't. All right, boys.
What real quick, what do you think of P. Nasty's trade? You got there Zay Flowers, the 1.07, the 1.08 for Aston Gearman.
Zay Flowers, the 1.7, the 1.8. Love it.
Yeah.
Give me Genty all day long. Josh says, LOL, just messing with you. But are you, Josh, or are you crawling back into a hole and realizing you have no substance here? Because, Josh, I doubt that's a joke. I doubt if you love this channel or you loved your boy Smitty, I doubt the funny joke you would say would be, Smitty doesn't know ball. Watch this one, guys. It sounds to me like you're trying to walk it back, Josh.
Especially because if you're making a sarcastic joke, you put a little like laughing face or LOLJK. Or
where's your laughing emoji, Josh? It's your only comment of the night too. So we kind of can see through it. This is not my first rodeo, pal. Anything else? Rock out, Travis. I'll see you tomorrow.
No, you guys later. Bye.
All right, Dynasty show tomorrow. Promise. I promise. All right, later. Yeah, he threw the towel in quickly. Josh came in strong, but I knew it. I said, well, wait, he won't do it. I knew it. Then he threw the towel in real quickly. Back to back comments. No one even commented in between. It was just, I'm messing with you. I'm sorry. Let me reel it back. That's what I thought. All right. Josh is out of here. See ya, Josh. That was quick. That was a one-round match. All right. See you all tomorrow.
Hi, my name is B. John Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
He's BTJ. What you gonna do? He's BTJ. He's gonna put it on you. He's gonna put it on you. He's BTJ. Gonna have a good game. He's BTJ. Your mama screams his name. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do. BTJ is going to put it on you. There's not a single thing that you can do.